I know when analysing Tesla, we talk about some crazy numbers at times, and I'm more than happy to admit I don't have a crystal ball. It's hard to predict the future, especially when you factor in exponentials. But the thing is, I'm not wrong about the potential. It's all math. The only thing I might be off by is the timeline. It may take 1 or 2 years longer to reach these estimates, but does it really matter if it takes that much longer? Are you going to sell your shares if you have to wait 2 years longer to hit a 5 or 10 times return? What matters are the numbers. Tesla has shown the path of how many vehicles they can make and the profit margins they can generate. We all know the numbers. In the past, we had concerns that there may be competition, which would potentially affect Tesla's market share and also reduce margins. It has now become apparent that not only has Tesla improved gross margins since, it looks like there is still further improvements to come. In addition to that, not only are the so-called competition unable to undercut Tesla on price, like for like, they can't even not undercut them without losing money, and they've shown no proof of ramping up to volume production. This is a big deal. It means not only can we feel more certain Tesla can maintain and improve these outstanding margins, it also means that Tesla's market share will be, well, I think it will be whatever they want it to be, as many vehicles as they can get around to producing. My favourite target I like to look at is 10 million vehicles a year by 2025. I throw that term around loosely. I may mean a run rate of 10 million by the end of that year, or that may mean 10 million units for the year. But if anyone thinks they can predict exactly when 10 million will be, then they're not credible. No one can see the future. But it's exciting to think about, and it helps us enjoy owning our Tesla shares more. It also stops negative thoughts entering our minds of selling, or facilitates our conviction and gives us the confidence to press that buy button, which is increasing in cost ever so much more. So I make predictions that are exciting, and always have, and my predictions for the stock price when I was buying in 2017 turned out to be half as much and twice as long. As in, the stock price became twice as high as I expected, and in under half the time. Anyway, I'm sure you'd rather watch videos about how rich you're going to be rather than potential issues that may come up. Staying with our 10 million by 2025 target though, it could be viewed like this. Perhaps a 35% chance Tesla reach that run rate in 2025, as in there is a possibility. But because we're dealing with exponentials, then it might jump up to 75% chance in 2026, and then 95% in 2027, because it's exponential. Every year the chances of these targets being reached increases significantly. It might be easier to understand if I show you the inverse, as the chances of them not happening decrease, i.e. 65% chance 10 million is not achieved by 2025, then only a 25% chance it doesn't occur in 2026, and only a 5% chance in 2027. Of course, we're excluding any black swan events that could crop up at any time. Just off the top of my head, without reaching level 5 FSD or robotaxis and without energy, then that is still going to be a valuation of around $4 trillion for the company. 4 times your money from today, even if it takes 6 years, i.e. 2027 to hit that, then I assure you 4 times your money is still a great return, especially in this day and age with returns everywhere else being so low. But this is just the auto business. The same applies for FSD. Every year the chances of it being achieved are increasing exponentially. And at the end of the day, bear in mind that the value of FSD is worth trillions to Tesla, possibly tens of trillions. They are going to make sure it is achieved. And eventually there will be the energy business, but I can't see that taking off until as late as about 2025, at least until it makes any noticeable presence in cash flow when compared to autos. It's mainly going to come down to Tesla's ramping up of their in-house LFP batteries. However, in the meantime, CATL should be improving their production levels before then, which might make a contribution to the energy business. I know that judging by my comments, I'm talking to people who are educated and intelligent, and I don't have to tell you these things. You don't simply believe every word or prediction I say, and you've mostly done your own predictions yourself, and they are similar to mine. And it's just nice for you to have further validation of what you already believed. This was the channel I wanted back in the early days. There wasn't really anyone else out there offering such validation. The closest we had was Cathie Wood, but it's not like she was explaining it on a daily basis, and Tesla is still only a fraction of her holdings. She has to concentrate on a full portfolio. My point is that you know as well as I do, we can't predict the future, but we can put together some puzzle pieces and make some assumptions. Things might take a little longer than we expected at times. Equally, other advances might come sooner than we thought too. Breakthroughs can be achieved in this industry making step changes. This is such a new industry. We still need hundreds of times more EVs made. Hundreds of times more. We're still well under 1% of the global fleet being electric. Does that put it into perspective of how much more research and development remains, and how many more tens of trillions are going to be spent on this industry? Oh, and that's just for vehicles. Energy on top of that. As in, we probably need something like 1,000 times more batteries made than we currently have today. Yeah, things are going to improve and happen fast. We know there is so much money in this industry too. It's going to start attracting more talent, and more people will be educating themselves in these industries. Just like how there were so many people training to go into the building industry before the GFC. Okay, it turned out they picked the wrong industry and it was a property bubble, but the workforce will follow opportunity. Whether it's battery engineers, manufacturing scientists, or AI experts, they want to know there's going to be a job for them when they come out of college, and some of them may even just want to work for Tesla in the first place and orient their education around that. Success begets success. By the time people come out of college who are going in now, then it's possible we might have seen the demise of various auto companies, possibly legacy, and some BEV startups too. Yeah, here's a little secret I'll tell you about the future. Not all BEV companies are going to make it, but Tesla will be solid. And again, people want job security. They don't want to risk a career with some other company that might go under. Again, just more reason for people to go and work for Tesla. The point I'm trying to make is that we have a good idea of the capacity from our existing factories. By around 2025, I expect our next Terafactory is online, or perhaps been running for a year already, not to mention the coveted Tesla compact model. So surely we have a capacity of 10 million units by then. But my point is, even if it's 2026 or 2027, then that's still not that bad. Of course, if it takes that much longer for Tesla, then it's likely to take even longer for any competitor, which gives the market a higher barrier to entry. I actually don't want that to be the case. I think that Tesla will hit a 10 million run rate sometime in 2026, i.e. the first quarter where Tesla ever breaks the 2.5 million deliveries barrier will be sometime in 2026. This is what I put the most likely odds on, but I also think there is a chance it could happen in 2025. The factories we have now aren't even that far off that capacity. Fremont is meant to grow 50%, taking it to perhaps 750,000. Shanghai is meant to hit 1 million, then perhaps another 5 million combined from our two new factories. We aren't far off 10 million capacity already. But in the next 4 years, I expect these sites to be further expanded anyway. Yeah, whoever said that Tesla aren't going to expand their existing sites? Just because Tesla don't likely have plans for any new factory, that's not to say they won't continue expansion with their existing sites. In fact, this is already evident in Shanghai. They haven't stopped expansion. Remember, Elon says a factory on every continent, or perhaps each of these factories are the hubs for each of the continents they're on. Maybe the next factory will be in South America and pump out tons of compact Tesla robotaxis. I'm not entirely sure about that, but we shouldn't assume. The main thing I'm getting at here is that just because a new factory has not been announced, or necessarily on the immediate plans, it doesn't mean Tesla have stopped expanding their production capacity. They have a lot of batteries to make. Anyway, just keep thinking about the future and the plans this company has. Don't get concerned about the short-term stuff. We're in this for the long run. Thanks for listening. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter and talk to me on Patreon.